In this video, we're going to have a look at a very difficult question that uses not only these three expressions that you need to know about probability in year 2 maths, but also simultaneous equations actually in this 4-mark question. So you can tell this is twice as difficult because it's twice as many marks as parts A, B, and C. Let's break it down though. So I've written out a sort of step-by-step process that you should use. You either use the formulas, or if you can't, then you want to draw a Venn diagram. So the probability of not A intersect not B. To find that, let's draw out a Venn diagram actually to help us visualize things. So it's given us two important expressions. It's told us that the probability of A, which is everything in the circle of A, that's the middle plus this, is equal to 0.3. And it's also told you that the A union B is 0.7. Now A union B involves this, this, and this. So if we know that all three sections add up to 0.7, but two sections add up to 0.3, automatically we know that this leftover part is 0.7, take away 0.3, because it's the difference between them. So if we do that, 0.7 take away 0.3, we get that this section in the only B part is 0.4. Now that might not help with this, so it says probability of not A intersect not B. That's everything on the outside actually. And actually I'm going to show you a method to as to why that is. So not A represents everything that's not in the section of A. So that's everything not in the circle of A, so that's this and the outside. In a different color, let's highlight what's represented by the section not B. That's everything not in the circle of B, so that's this and the outside. Everywhere where I've shaded twice is where the intersection is, which means just the outside. So not A intersect not B is the outside of the Venn diagram only. Now how can we find the outside? Well, it's told us that everything inside the Venn diagram, which is this, this, and this, adds up to 0.7, meaning that the outside has to add up to 0.3 in order for everything in the rectangle to add up to 1. So automatically, that's how you do part A. So drawing a Venn diagram really helped here, so be careful of that. Now, not A intersect B. Once again, let's use that highlighter to help us with this. So not A is everything not in the circle of A, that's this and this. In a different color, let's highlight the section that's represented by capital B. That's everything in the circle of B, so that's this and this. Again, where they intersect is where I've shaded in twice, which is the 0.4 section. So we say it's just equal to 0.4. Now it says given that A and B are independent, now that's important because that means that we can use this expression here. If it didn't tell you that they're independent, then we couldn't have used this expression. So straight away, let's form an equation using this. I'm sure it'll be helpful. The probability of A is 0.3 multiplied by the probability of B, which we don't know yet. We know it's 0.4 plus something. I'm just going to write probability of B for now is equal to A intersect B, which again we don't know. Now, just thought of a little idea that could help us. If we call this middle section X, then we can say that the probability of B is then X plus 0.4, if that makes sense, because that's everything in the circle of B. And A intersect B in that case would just be X. Now, why is that useful? It's because when we expand this out, we can actually have an expression that we can solve for X, and we can find what that intersection is. So 0.3 times X is 0.3X. 0.3 times 0.4 is 0.12. That's all equal to X. Take away 0.3X from both sides. So 0.12 equals X, take away 0.3X, which is 0.7X. Divide both sides by 0.7, and we get, I'm just going to use my calculator here, but 0.12 divided by 0.7 is equal to 6 over 35. I'm just going to leave it in that format because it gives a very difficult to deal with decimal if I don't. And then the probability of B is that X value that we just found, 6 over 35 plus 0.4. So the probability of B is 6 over 35 plus 0.4, which is equal to 4 over 7. It's a better fraction. And let's now use that to, actually I'm just going to quickly replace X in this diagram. So I hope you're seeing that as we go, I'm just sort of filling in parts of the question. I'm not just like skimming past the information and then going straight to the question. I'm just like doing the steps as I go because I think that's the easiest way. So X is 6 over 35. So having filled that in, now see we can fill this in. and I'd recommend you do that. It might help with the last step. So if we do 1 take away everything that we do have, we are left with this only A section. So let's do that. 1 take away 6 over 35, take away 0.4, take away 0.3, and that actually equals 9 over 70. Now, not A union not B. Again, let's use our method of highlighting. Not A is everything that's not in the circle of A, so that's this and this. In a different color, let's shade in what's represented in not B, which is everything not in the circle of B, that's this and the outside. Where they intersect is the shaded area, but we're not really interested in where they intersect. We're interested in the union where it's shaded at least once. So that includes 0.4, 9 over 70, and 0.3. If we add all those together, it will just add up to 29 over 35. And that's the final answer for this question. Hopefully this all made sense, and hopefully you understand how not only do you either use the formulas and Venn diagrams, but also just try filling things in along the way and thinking a little outside the box like we did here. This was quite a difficult question, but yeah, be sure to like the video if it helped and subscribe. I'll post more content like this.